All right, apes, listen up. Welcome to Ape Brain Daily Intel. This is your daily briefing on what the so-called smart money is actually doing. We're cutting through all the noise to get to the signals. Let's get right into it.
It's a jungle out there. You got the suits, the insiders, the news is nonstop. It's a lot. And honestly, it's mostly boring. So that's my job. I dig through all the dry reports from places like Dataroma, MarketBeat, and JP Morgan to find the nuggets of intel that actually matter for our bananas.
First up, we're tracking the biggest animals in this jungle, the whales. The super investors, the big money that can literally move markets. When they make a splash, we have to pay attention. So what are they up to? Okay, take a look at this. The big name that jumps right out is Berkshire Hathaway. Yep, that's Warren Buffett's ship. And what are they doing? They've been offloading shares of a company called Dvita. And we're not talking about a little pocket change here. We are talking millions of dollars worth just in the past week. So what's the real story here? Well, Buffett's firm is selling. Now, if you're holding Dvita stock, that's not exactly what you want to see. For the rest of us, this is a super important piece of intel. It shows us where the smart money is moving away from, which is just as important as where it's going. You don't want to be left holding the bag. So what's the play? We don't just panic, and we definitely don't just blindly follow them out the door. We have to think like an ape. Are they seeing a storm coming that we don't? Or are they just cashing in some chips to fund their next moonshot? That's the real question. So for now, we watch, we learn, and we wait for our opening. Okay, so we've seen what the whales are doing from way up high. Now let's zoom in. Let's focus on the people on the inside. The bosses, the directors. Are they buying their own company's stock, or are they selling? Their own money talks louder than any press release, and believe me, we are listening.
And for any new apes joining the troop, let's just quickly define an insider trade. It's simply when a company's top brass, we're talking CEOs, directors, buys or sells shares of their own company. Now, it's totally legal as long as they report it, but it is one of the most powerful signals you can find. It's a direct look at how confident they really are.
And speaking of confidence, check this out. This is pure conviction in action. A director at a company called Biohaven just dropped almost $25 million of his own money to buy more of his company's stock. Man, that is a massive vote of confidence. That right there is pure diamond hand energy. But it's not all diamond hands out there in the jungle. On the complete flip side, you've got Vivec Ramaswami at Roant Sciences. In a single day, he dumped over $20 million worth of his own shares. That is a huge cash out. So you've got one insider betting the farm and another one walking away from the table with a big pile of chips. And this, my friends, is the game. You've got one guy using his own wallet to scream buy and another one screaming sell. So, what do you do with that? Who are you supposed to believe? Okay, here's my take. An insider buy is almost always a stronger signal than a sell. And think about it, it makes sense. People sell stock for a million different reasons. Maybe they're buying a house, paying taxes, who knows? But they usually only buy their own stock for one reason. They think it's going way, way up. It's pure, unfiltered belief. So we see that conviction at Biohaven, we like that signal. We see the cash out at Roant, we watch that one with a careful eye. Always, always follow the conviction. All right, time for our last piece of intel. We've heard from the whales, we've heard from the insiders on the ground. Now let's zoom all the way out and see what the suits are saying about the entire jungle. We're going to look at a report from JP Morgan and translate their fancy Wall Street talk into plain ape speak. The one question on literally everyone's mind, the one the suits are completely obsessed with, is AI. Is this whole thing just a bunch of hype, just another dot-com bust waiting to happen? Or is this the real deal, a rocket ship we all need to climb aboard? So, I dug into their latest report, and here's the deal. They're seeing a record-breaking flood of money pouring into AI, and they're saying it's already boosting the entire U.S. economy for real. But, and yeah, this is a big but, they're also getting worried about politics, specifically new tariffs that could really mess things up. So what's our take? The AI rocket has definitely launched, but politics could make for some serious turbulence. You gotta hold all your tech bananas, but maybe strap yourself in for a bumpy ride. So let's wrap up today's intel briefing. We followed the smart money. We saw a whale selling off. We saw insiders making these massive bets, both for and against their own companies. And we even got a look at what the big suits are really worried about with this whole AI boom. The market is designed to be noisy and confusing. That's on purpose. But that's where we get our edge, because we know where to look. We can hear the real signals through all the chatter, and we can see the moves being made by the people who have the most skin in the game.
That's your intel for the day. Stay sharp out there. Apes together strong.